Hello friends, today we'll see that silver and gold contamination in context of crystalline silicon solar cells. This is the follow-up video lecture of the previous lecture on contamination in context of crystalline silicon solar cell. So in this lecture we will see the impact of silver and gold in solar cell and how it is going to degrade the performance of the cell. So as we already know that silver is already used as a contact in silicon solar cells, and gold is also an element which is used as a contact in some of the research solar cell, but this is really a problematic if gold is present where the crystalline silicon solar cell is being processed. So we will see here in a moment. So again, I am Hemant. So first let us talk about silver and its contamination perspective. So we already know that that silver, the atomic orbital, that outermost is that 5s, and it have a one electron in outermost orbit. So if you calculate, so it will give you that the trap state with respect to silicon from its balance band is around, sorry, 0.33 electron volt. That we have seen from where? From you have seen already this here, this value. So similar way, this is this is below mid gap, so this is a donor level trap state, and similarly you can find the acceptor level trap state which is below conduction band around 0.36 electron volt. Again you see the previous here, this acceptor level trap state. So if you see these two values, why we are concerned about these values? Because we want to find that what is the difference between the energy state of the trap and the intrinsic energy state for the silicon. So why it is important? Because we want to find the recombination rate, and for finding it this ET minus EI is important. So if you talk about solar cell, crystalline silicon solar cell and p-type, where you are using p-type base, and the emitter is formed by N layer, which is highly doped of the order of 10 to the power 20 per centimeter cube doping concentration. So in that case, Fermi level will be above trap state, silver trap state. But for substrate, the same silver, the doping concentration is around 10 to the power 15 per centimeter cube, where the Fermi level would be below trap state of the silver. And again, one more important parameter which is required for calculating, we will see in a moment, is the thermal electron capture cross section and hole capture cross section. These values you can find in any standard literature. So this value, electron capture cross section, is 3 into 10 to the power minus 16 centimeter square, and hole capture cross section is 3.1. It means approximately same for silver. So this is what we are talking about. So this is a N-type silicon, the doping of the order of 10 to the power 15, and if you calculate, so you'll find the donor level trap state below Fermi level here and acceptor level here, and the distance between these two, for acceptor level, it is slightly lesser than the donor level trap state. So how you define this donor impurity? This is donor impurity has a donor level which is defined as being neutral if filled by electron and positive if empty. In such case, excess trap and concentration charge is equal to 0, and if it is positive, if it is not 0. Similarly, the acceptor impurity, which is defined as neutral if empty and negative if filled by an electron. So here again for a p-type silicon, doping concentration of the 10 power 15 per centimeter cube, that concentration we have chosen, like if you are going for n-type solar cell then this, and if you are going for p-type solar cell then this. So in this case again Fermi level is below donor level trap state, below trap state. So charge neutrality requires that the concentration of holes and excess carrier holes and excess carrier electron and the sum of with that donor level impurity and acceptor level impurity should be equal. So this relation should be followed for that. Now let us see how it is going to impact the diffusion length and lifetime of the minority carriers in silicon material. So for let's consider the p-type silicon, and first consider the contamination with the silver, and uh, defect atoms concentration is 10 power 13 per centimeter cube. This is our assumption. We have already seen that the trap state below donor level trap state below for mid gap state is 0.23, and for acceptor level it is 0.20 electron volt. Again you see the gold, which is mid gap trap state, we have seen in the previous lecture. So here we are going to compare silver with the gold, and here for comparison we are assuming that the impurity concentration for gold and silver is same, means 10 power 13 per centimeter cube. So these are the some default values for silicon: intrinsic carrier concentration 1.4500 to 10 per centimeter cube, Boltzmann constant, and temperature assumed at 300 K, means this is room temperature 27 degrees Celsius. And this is, as I earlier showed, that electron capture cross section and for silver and for gold. So you see that capture cross section for gold is 100 times larger than the silver. That is a very important point here. And these two values which we will be using for the calculation of the trap assisted recombination rate. And the threshold velocity is we well know is 10.7 centimeter per second. So here we have already seen this equation last video, that this trap assisted recombination rate is given by ut, which is with this formula. Here let us assume that that we already seen that is approximately same, that capillary cross section for the whole electron, and if we modify with this assumption, then the formula would be this, and this is under the low level injection, which is the case in case of solar cells. It operates under low level injection, where that for p-type semiconductor majority carrier is much higher than minority carrier electrons and the excess electrons photo generated. So this is the equation after these assumptions, and again if you want to find out the lifetime, then it would be the excess carrier concentration divided by the trap assisted recombination rate. So this comes in this form if you replace those equations with the given one, and then again you can find the diffusion length ln by under root of tau n and dn, where tau n is the minority carrier lifetime and diffusion length of electron dn. Dn is standard value at room temperature is 35 centimeter square per second, and kt at room temperature is 0.259 electron volt. So based on this equation, if you calculate those these things, and in all case we have assumed that that concentration, impurity concentration for gold as well as silver is same, that is 10 power 13 per centimeter cube, and base level doping we have varied with different from 10 power 14 to 10 power 19. For solar cell typically we use 10 power 15. If you see that minority carrier lifetime with the same concentration of impurity drastically goes 1, and for the silver it remains as 44, and minimum it goes down by 10 microsecond if the base doping concentration varies from 10 power 14 to 10 power 19. But at this level, it is slightly degradation in lifetime is there for silver also, but compared to gold, it is much better. So until and unless you are safe within the limit of the base doping concentration around about 15 or so, silver is not going to matter much, but gold is always a problem whatever base doping is. And accordingly you will find the diffusion length which comes down to 392, 347, and here it is much lesser than though the concentration of impurity concentration of gold is same as silver. So this is the plot. If you see that how the base doping concentration is varying and how the lifetime with the silver is affected and gold, and same way the diffusion length, which is important to collect the electron holes. So if you see that there is a slight variation here, but gold is impacting much more severely than silver, and silver is problematic only once you have a very high base doping. So that is also to be considered, that what is the base doping you are going to assume for this. So we can see here is that silver is not as decisive as gold, and the two important parameters which is governing it, that first thing is that thermal cross section, which is 100 times more for gold, and the mid gap trap state position from the mid gap state of silicon. So for gold it is much lesser. If it is zero, then for recombination it will be infinite, but it is much lesser compared to silver. So that's why you are getting lots of degradation in lifetime and as well as diffusion length. And this calculation is based on a particular value, that is about 13. If you can calculate this important parameter here, anti, you can vary this anti and then you will have a different scenario also, but this is just to give you a feel that how it is going to impact the performance of the cell. So definitely you should be careful when you are processing your solar cell, that there should not be any gold contamination or any gold related process should be done in the same environment where you are processing solar cell, because it is going to impact your solar cell performance heavily. So these are the some references which you can follow for understanding a more in-depth data analysis of it. Thank you for now. Thank you very much.